Year's Eve, I think it is January 29th, or sorry, December 29th, getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna show you today this beautiful one of one edition balloon white. It's right behind me, and we haven't listed it yet, but it is a one of one edition. It has really amazing specs on it, every option. But if you want something really unique and you want to kick off the year with something nobody else has and you want to be different, I'm gonna show it to you. So let's go ahead and flip it around. And we are here in Atlanta, Georgia. This is our factory where we handcraft the world's finest fully modernized classic. And before I dive in and walk you through all of the details, this is not a restoration. It's not even a rested mod. It's actually a 2025 vehicle, a modern vehicle, fully certified, crash tested, FMVSS compliant, and handcrafted right here in Atlanta, Georgia. And the difference is, instead of trying to make an old car more modern, we used to do that, but it had limitations. This is a modern car chassis, a modern 2025 platform, and then we handcrafted over 900 labor hours, a classic inspired vehicle on top of that modern car chassis. So it's going to drive like your modern 2025 vehicle. It's going to have all of the technology that you're used to and modern safety features. We even crash tested it as well. So what you end up getting is truly the best of both worlds. And I'll show you some behind the scenes and show you the chassis back there underneath. But I want to show you this amazing spec that I think somebody is going to be really happy with. And if you're into art and you like cars, or you're just not even a car person, but you love nice things and beautifully crafted craftsmanship and quality, and you have good taste in design, let me tell you, I've had over 50, 60 at this point, cars since I was 21. And there are very few vehicles on the road that will give you this type of look without the problems and has something that you can just enjoy without any worries or issues. Take a look at the inside of this. I mean, I love a great interior, but let me tell you, this interior right here, this interior wins. It is a navy blue distressed leather with Schumacher textile. This is Montana wool. If you know Schumacher, your wife probably has decorated your entire house with it and emptied your bank account with this material. And we decided we're going to put it in our truck. And so you've got this beautiful Montana wool plaid paired with this navy blue leather interior. Check it out. We went with a pleated stitching on this one instead of the diamond. And I'm a big boat guy. I'm a huge yacht guy. And so this right here is a nautical inspired theme. You've got this unbelievable show quality paint job. And it's called Balloon White, which is a Lamborghini paint color. If you know your Lamborghinis, then this was a 2010, 2012 color they use on the LP560, Gallardo, LP640, and SV, and maybe a few others. But it is a really nice metallic paint. And we paired it with these navy blue nautical stripes, which you get on the hood. You get it right here on these stripes as well. And then that pairs nicely with your interior. Oh, and of course your teak wood, because what is a yacht or a land yacht without teak? I mean, why not, right? If you're going to do this, you're going to do it all the way. And these are the little details I say, but big details, where we truly pull it all together into a package where you're going to look forward to driving it. It's going to drive like your modern car. You're not going to have to worry about any kind of breakdowns or leaks or squeaks or rattles. This is not an old car. I've been through the whole process myself as a buyer, so I know what it is you're looking for. And a little history behind this is that I'm just a guy who was a car fanatic. I grew up with no money at all, and I was just enamored by cars from a young age. And I dreamed of owning them, but I knew that wasn't going to happen with my family. We didn't have any money, and so that, I think, is a huge blessing, by the way. Don't feel like if you can't afford this yet, that's a disadvantage. feel like that's actually an advantage so long as you go after it hard and hungry. Because when you don't have it given to you, you have no choice but to go earn it. And that's what I did. And so when I say I've had over 60 cars, don't get the wrong idea that somebody bought them all for me. I literally bought all of them with my own money. And I've had Ferrari, Lamborghini, Aston Martin, McLaren, AMG, everything you can think of. And it was the journey of not having anything but wanting cars, having success in life. I built a couple top 100 apps in the app store, sold a company to a public company, and then I got into my real passion. This is what I should have been doing my whole life, which is cars, because I was so obsessed with them and I loved them so much. I would have done it, like basically every waking hour. But it wasn't until one day I bought an old Bronco. And buying that old Bronco was the beginning of everything, because when I got that truck home, boy, that thing had so many problems and it was just unbearable. There's not really a better word for it. And when you're used to nice cars, not even nice cars, but modern cars, like forget about nice cars. Let's say you just are a modern car buyer, right? And then you have to go back 60 years to a time where ride quality was different, steering was different, brakes were different, just the whole vehicle experience in general was very different. And that was a huge awakening for me, because everything I knew or thought I knew about classic cars was actually accurate, which was, it's going to have a lot of problems, and I don't have time for problems. I don't know about you, but if you're able to buy this vehicle and it's a $250,000 plus investment, you're likely not a mechanic. And even if you could fix the car, you probably don't want to fix the car. And I went through all of the stages of emotions, right? I was disappointed at first, and then the truck was always in the shop, and then I was mad, and then I was in denial. I went through all of it. And I basically asked myself, how come the car can't just look vintage? Because I'm not a purist, I'm not a mechanic, I'm not a collector, even though I've had tons of cars. I just want to drive it. I don't want any problems. And at that point in time, I'd had, Range Rovers, G-Wagons, all kinds of nice cars, and they always worked. And so it was then on the side of the road in Georgia on a hot day where I'm sweating my ass off, calling my wife or Uber to come pick me up because my old Bronco broke down, that I said, you know what? I'm going to make it better. And in doing so, went from fixing my old truck to falling into restoration, quickly deciding that also wasn't what I wanted, nor did I want to build cars for people who had modern car expectations, only to be let down by the reality that the old cars have limitations. You can only do so much with them. Check out this Raven black truck here, by the way. Really, really nice. Big contrast, right? You got all black bumpers, black trim. They went with polish wheels in this. And then you got this land yacht over here, which is also lifted on 35s, by the way. And so did restoration. And I'm the kind of person where if I sell you something, I don't care if it's $1 or $1,000 or $100,000. If you're not happy with it, I'm not going to be happy, because I didn't get into this to make money. And what I quickly realized was, in restoration, you could do everything right and the car still is not going to start or have a problem. And people today, they don't like that. And the more money they spend, the less they like that. And so it was after doing a handful of restorations that it was pretty clear that our clients, what they really wanted was a more modern version of a restoration. So we got an Restomod. And that was when we moved in this building right here in Atlanta, Georgia. This is one of our facilities where the magic happens. And it is 7:20 p.m., so our people have gone home for the day. But usually full of just an amazing crew of people who share the same philosophy and understand the mission, and they handcraft these vehicles for 900 hours on a modern car chassis. They do such a great job. And if you check our stories, highly encourage you to look at them on Instagram or on Facebook. This is a live broadcast that goes to LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. But if you want to really look behind the scenes, go to our stories on Instagram and Facebook, and you'll see how our team of people go from a modern car chassis to this piece of art that you can drive every day. So proud of them. Well, anyway, we go into restoration, we go into Restomod, And we build people, process, and parts. And that was this building, and it was empty, just like a little concrete floor. And then we had all of this over the course of the last 4 years and 2 months and change. And in that time, we realized that our customers were like me and my wife. And my wife was the inspiration behind all this. She was the one that was like, you know what? I'm not riding in this thing, and neither are the kids. And so when your wife tells you that she doesn't want to ride in your old car because it smells bad and it breaks down and it leaks everywhere, and she didn't feel safe, right? Every mom out there, you're a mom or you're married and your wife, is doing her job, which is to worry and be paranoid. They're gonna have an opinion about driving around with your kids in a vehicle that doesn't have modern safety features. And so I basically decided, you know what, you're right. Listen to client feedback, built tons of beautiful Restomods in this building, delivered them to Mark Wahlberg, LeBron James, Jennifer Lopez, all kinds of people, billionaires, athletes, celebrities, musicians, entertainers, entrepreneurs, executives, and just people who were successful in life and wanted to go buy a car they always wanted, but they were worried. They had the same fears and hesitations that I had. And it was that exact customer profile that I knew exactly what they wanted, because anytime I drove a Restomods, even though they're really, really nice looking, and we pushed the envelope on making them as modern as possible, they always fell a little bit short of a modern vehicle. And therefore, deep down, we knew that if we really wanted to build a great company, not a good company, we'd have to give our customers more. And that's what led us to this. And this right here, it really is the best of both worlds, because now you have a modern car geometry because it's built on a 2025, and you have a wider track width, which is what all the modern vehicles have today. You have a longer wheelbase, 100.4 inches instead of 92, which is what the cars have today, and is wider, longer, and bigger. And if you look at the progression of cars over time, they got bigger over time for a reason. That's not an accident, because they're safer. And therefore, by building on a modern car chassis underneath this beautiful bodywork, which is a show quality paint job, you have all the modern safety features you have in your G-Wagon Range Rover, including crumple zones, side impact beams, anti-lock brakes and traction control, things like parking sensors, backup camera, and up here you have pre-collision assist with emergency braking and all the electronics like stability control, roll sensor, an actual functional roll bar tied to the chassis. You want that for sure. And inside you have everything that you would expect, and in this case I'm going to tell you it's more. And I have a G63 AMG 2025, I have a new Range Rover, I have a Lamborghini Urus, and I have a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and I bought all of those. I'll make an excuse to be able to compare the fit and finish and do market research, but honestly, I'm a car lover and I want to push the envelope on what good looks like. And I can tell you with great confidence that if you get in this vehicle, especially this one, which is just one of my favorites with this plaid and this navy leather, you will get inside and you're gonna be very, very impressed with the fit and finish and the details, and people obsessed over every little square inch. This right here, billet aluminum, these pieces of hardware, billet aluminum, the body, I don't know if you can hear that, brand new American made steel. This is not like a fiberglass product or cheap, blend or composite. We didn't stamp it overseas, would have been cheaper. We actually did it in Detroit, in the US, because it was important to us that we carried as much of that vintage design and feel and American made feel as possible. And so you have really the best of both worlds, all the details that will blow you away. And I recently checked the gas cap on the G63. It is plastic. The Urus, definitely plastic as well. The Range Rover, also plastic. I will say Rolls-Royce Cullinan does have a metal looking gas cap. I need to double check to see if it's actually metal, but let's just give it to him and say it is. And this right here is an example, right? This is a piece of billet aluminum. It is extremely heavy. You could really hurt somebody with this thing. And we not only didn't go with plastic, we used billet aluminum, CNC'd it, and then we ship our parts to Detroit because they have the best chromer in the country there. And so stuff like that that we spared no expense on. And then the details of how we assemble it, the fit and finish, which I'll show you how we achieve that, all measured down to the millimeter. And we've truly blended art and science. I'm going to get in this truck here so you can kind of get a POV here. So this particular spec is 1 of 1, and 1 of 1 means we'll never build this truck again. So if you're into rare things that nobody else has, you don't want to pull up to a red light and see 5 other G-Wagons, you don't want to go to a country club and everyone's got a Range Rover, and even in Cullinan, like I'll tell you, even in Miami, they're everywhere, and these cars are everywhere. And I've always been obsessed with nice, beautiful, great car design, but I also want it to be different, so whether it was a different color or a special edition or I customized my car, it was important to me to be different because I'm different. I'm not like everybody else, and I didn't want my car to be like that either. And the car says a lot about you, So driving around in this, you will absolutely have something that nobody else has, because 1 of 1 means we'll never make it again in this exact spec. So you got balloon white paint on this dash right here. You have this beautifully hand-stitched navy blue leather. You've got your 12-inch Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, touchscreen navigation, can't give that up. And then you have dual zone climate control. This is not like an aftermarket thing. It's actual factory dual zone climate control. You got your heated steering wheel, heated seats. You can put cold over here, warm for her, whatever it is you want. You got all your technology down here as well, so you don't miss that. You have your shift on the fly 4-wheel drive, and I want to take a minute to talk about what this means, because in the past, there's no way you're going to drive your classic car in the winter, in the rain, in the snow. You don't have traction control, you don't have anti-lock brakes, you have none of the safety features. That's just not a smart thing to do. So most people, I can tell you, if they have a 1960s, 70s truck, that thing is staying in the garage, only pulled out in the spring or summertime, depending on where you're at. Maybe you have 90 days to enjoy it. You can actually drive this every single day if you wanted, year-round, regardless of where you live. Wow, that's a big claim. Why? Well, a few things. Number one, this is not an old car. It's a 2025. Okay, 2025 comes with 2025 technology and steering and all the safety features, traction control, but you also get a shift on the fly 4-wheel drive. So let's say you're somewhere where it rains, it snows, it's cold, you can shift into 4-wheel drive. You do not have to get out. It's not like it's got manual locking hubs. You probably don't even know what that is. And if you did, you probably wouldn't have to get out in 20-degree weather while it's snowing and raining on the side of the road and turn those locking hubs. This is shift on the fly, which means if you're cruising around and all of a sudden you need 4-wheel drive, you simply hit the button, it's going to shift for you and you're good. But further than that, there are modes that are programmed into this 2025 chassis already, native to all the technology that comes along with the benefits of a modern car platform, like slippery, snow, sand, ice. And I've personally driven these in the snow at 11,000 feet in Aspen, Colorado, and I drove it off-road. I'm not even a hardcore off-roader. I'm not an off-roader, period. And talking to all you G-Wagon Range Rover people, you guys probably don't off-road your G-Wagon Range Rover, but here's good news. If you wanted to, you could, because this right here has every single option, including the Fox coilover suspension. This has a larger lift, about 3.5 inches, and it has a larger tires. These are 35-inch BF Goodrich all-terrain tires, are 35s. And it has plenty of lift. The battery is disconnected right now, so the power steps aren't coming out, but there's power steps here as well. And the fact that you can drive this year-round, it may make you think about your investment differently, right? Because, again, growing up with no money, I'm practical and cheap. I had to be. There's no, you could not be cheap, right? And I say cheap, how about frugal, right? That might be better. But the point is that when you make an investment of 250, 300 grand, and you worked hard for that money, you want to use it, right? You don't want to just look at it. You don't want to feel like you can't drive it. And so when I say you can drive it, you should feel confident as you do in your G-Wagon, Range Rover, Urus, Bentayga, Cullinan, whatever it is you drive. Your, I don't know, what are the other cars out there? Your Cadillac, right? Escalade. And it's because it has all the technology that's keep you out of trouble, right? Now with this, because it's 2025 underneath, you don't have to worry about can I drive it, and therefore the usage you'll get is far greater than an old classic car. And this soft top, I know people freak out about a soft top. Number one, check one of the latest reels. That's me in that reel where I'm unzipping the tan soft top on that aspen green truck. Beautiful truck, by the way. Shout out to my friend Karina, who is driving that beautiful truck around Scottsdale. And in that reel, you'll see how quickly and easy it is to remove that soft top. Not hard at all. I know it's intimidating, and I've had the same experience where I had a soft top and I just took it off the day I got the truck and I never put it back on because I didn't want to have to deal with it. Well, this soft top, we actually engineered and designed it to not only be easier and user-friendly for the average person that's not a car expert, you don't have to be a car expert, B, we made it nice and tight, so it's not going to flap in the wind like the off-the-shelf solutions. And number three, and most importantly, if you want to use it year-round, it's waterproof. Designed and engineered to be waterproof and tested during our test process. Each and every single vehicle, we water test it just to make sure. Which means if it's snowing, it's raining, bring it on. And maybe some of you guys are thinking, wow, it's too nice to drive, or it's too expensive to drive. I've always driven my cars. I didn't care how much they cost. And I didn't care what the weather conditions were for the most part, because I just wanted to enjoy it. I didn't want to save it for the next guy, right? And if you're going to custom build this or buy this amazing balloon white truck, you should drive it, and you're not going to hurt it either. By the way, it even comes with windshield wipers, so if it rains, you can turn it on. Half kidding, half serious. It actually does. But you should enjoy it, and you're not going to hurt it. And I think it's a shame if you buy this and you don't drive it. But here's good news. If you want to, feel confident. Fully capable. I've done it myself personally. I've driven it in the sand, on the beach, on the freeway, on road trips, 80 miles an hour, monsooning, super hot, temperatures, super cold temperatures. At the top of the mountain in Aspen at 11,000 feet, it was very windy up there, but you couldn't hear anything. The soft top doesn't flap. So these are the true tests of usage. And it's not something pretty just to look at. You can actually drive it. And here's a great thing. You have kids, you have wife, you have family. You're not going to have to think twice because you have latch seat belts. If your kids are young and you need booster seats or car seats where you can tether it directly into the seat like your modern car, there's even a little tether spot back here. And then you have the peace of mind of knowing that you've got the crumple zones, the side impact beams, the functional roll bar, roll stability control, roll sensor, traction control, anti-lock brakes. Let me tell you something. I think that 99% of people, now if you're a race car driver, stunt car driver, you're an exception, you don't count. But for everybody else, if you ever drove your car without traction control or anti-lock brakes, in the rain, going fast, you would freak out. Right? You're not ready for that. You're not a drifter, right? But with this, it's going to save you. Again, things that you don't think about, but you're experiencing every single day in your normal car. So if you're interested in this truck, we haven't officially listed it yet. It's our demo truck. It's a one-of-one build, as every single option. And you can text or call us at the phone number pinned to the title or the comment section, or you can DM us if you're on Instagram. And we'll walk you through the truck, and it's not going to last. I can tell you, inventory never lasts. In fact, I believe we have sold every single inventory that we have, with the exception of this one, because we haven't listed yet. And one is the Arcadian Blue Metallic, which I'm bringing to Miami tomorrow. And that'll be down there in South Florida. Has a white interior. You've seen the post. If you're looking for something right now, you don't want to wait, this truck right here, blue and white, with a navy blue interior, or the Arcadian Blue with a white rock interior, both of them up for grabs. Everything else sold as we expected. We do have a few builds that are in progress. Your best bet, though, is to text or call us, and we'll walk you through the options. And if you want to custom build one, you want to select your own options. There's 30 paint colors, 4 different trims: black, white, chrome, satin black, bright white, multiple options on the stripes or no stripes, multiple options on the wheels. You have lift, no lift, 35-inch, 33-inch tires. Soft top comes in 6 different colors. There's 33 million permutations, by the way. That's a lot. So it's probably actually more than that since we keep adding options. But we have a concierge. They'll walk you through the whole process. If you're not good at this kind of stuff, we do it all day, every day. And there's many, many options and selections and upgrades to make it your own. And that's one of the coolest things about this, is that no two are alike. It's extremely rare that you would ever see another one, let alone the same spec. That's not going to happen, especially if you buy a one of one. But at the end of the day, if you want to love what you drive and actually be excited about your next drive, and maybe you actually go drive for fun. When was the last time you actually just drove for fun? Got in the car and turned on your favorite music, put the windows down, put the soft top down, and just go for a drive. And if you haven't done that, I gotta tell you that one of the things I'm really excited about is just how much our clients love their car. And that makes me happy, because I didn't start the company to make money. I just did it because I loved it. And in doing so, when I found that people didn't love their restoration and they liked a lot their Restomod, but really wish it would drive more like their modern car, and by the way, can you add safety features? That was impossible to do. You can only make an old car so modern. It has limitations. And the fact that our customers love their modern classic and they drive them often, if you saw the Kevin Hart stories that we posted over the weekend, Kevin Hart has a lot of cars, over 20 super high-end custom Restomod builds. He spent a lot of money on them. They range from like $300, $500 to $1 million. And he drives and daily drives the truck we built for him, because it's got everything. It's got the look, it's got the technology, it drives like his other cars. He also has a Porsche Turbo S, but this is just a fun car, and he lives in California, so he can drive it every single day, and he does. So when our customers, who can have anything at all, tell us that not only do they love their modern classic truck, but they drive it way more than they would have expected. The fit and finishing quality is better than they expected, and the service matches the price tag, if not even better than any other big car manufacturer. That's what makes me happy. And in doing so, you build a great company. Because if your customers are happy and you can do it consistently and it's big enough to matter, you have scale, right? Then you could build something really, really great. And I can tell you that, especially from a fit and finish perspective and the details, you'll be blown away. This right here is Raven Black on chocolate interior. Let me grab my notes here. This is an example of, I don't believe we've done this exact color combination before, right? And to give you an idea of how rare these are, even though we ship one of these to one lucky person in the world every single business day, the numbers are so small compared to mass-produced vehicles that the likelihood of seeing another one, unless you're in one of the hot spots, Palm Beach, Beverly Hills, Aspen, Hamptons, Southern California, Texas, New York, New Jersey, all the places that are warm, and we're moving into places like Iowa. Brent, I believe we shipped his out in Iowa, and he's going to drive it, which is awesome, right? It doesn't have to be a warm weather place. So GT3 RS, I've given you guys examples of this. 2,500 units produced per year by Porsche globally. 2,500, 2,500, and we're 1/10 of that. You're 10 times more likely to see a Porsche GT3 RS on the road than you are to see a modern classic handcrafted by our team at Vintage, which means you're not going to run into anybody else that has it. And if you do, it's not going to be the same color. There's just no way. And it's going to be something that anywhere you go and everywhere you go, people will just love it, because this is not like a yellow Lamborghini. There are a lot of customers we talk to, they can buy 10 yellow Lamborghinis, but they'll never buy one, because their style is a little bit more under the radar, a little bit more understated. And the fact that this truck falls into this quiet luxury category If you know, you know. And I think it really is appealing for people, men, women, young, old. We have 16-year-old clients, and we have one of our clients we just delivered a pink one to who is in her 80s, right? So doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter if you're male or female, doesn't matter if you're a car person or not a car person. In fact, what I really love are the comments from people who say, I don't even like cars, but I love this car or truck. That's really cool. Foreign, domestic, it doesn't matter, globally. And we have clients that have shipped these to Germany, to Dubai, parts of Europe, Amalfi Coast. It's amazing. And what you end up getting is actually a real piece of art, handcrafted by real artists, and you don't have to make any compromises, which I think is amazing, which is what we always wanted for our customers. So this Raven Black here with the chocolate interior, let me see here, this belongs to one of our clients, Jared. Jared, if you're watching, Jared's out in Texas. This truck is getting really, really close. Hope you're excited, man. This is just gonna be beautiful. And I don't know what you have in your garage, Jared, but if you're like most of our customers, it will quickly become one of your favorites. And if you have kids, by the way, and doesn't matter if they're young or old, if they're young, they will scream and beg for you to drive this and play their favorite music, you know, drive them around, carpool lane, game over, you know, wherever it is you're gonna take them, they're just gonna love it, and it's just fun. And it brings people together, it makes people smile. So really, really cool. So Jared, this is his Raven Black truck. He went with the chocolate leather, nice spec, Jared, beautiful. And probably days away from delivery here. Okay, let's zip around here and I'm gonna show you what else we have here, because we've got some beautiful builds in progress here. This is Phoenician yellow. Phoenician yellow, such a beautiful color. You probably saw this last week. It was in the early stages. It is now in station 3, and we are working tomorrow. And we'll be back at it, kind of like a banana, if you think about it, right? You get this yellow outside, white inside. I can make a joke about that, but I'm not going to. Let's see here. So this is Kathy's Phoenician yellow, gorgeous truck, beautiful spec, snow white interior. She went with the Phoenician yellow dash, which is a nice touch, Phoenician yellow roll bars, and then back here, teak wood. Look how beautiful that looks against that white right there. Upgraded stereo system. This truck in Florida is going to be perfect. Just take a look at this. And with the white interior, we're extremely careful in general, but you can imagine with white, we're even more careful. The expectation is that Kathy gets this truck, it is on time and is perfect. That's it. It's as simple as that. Now, the complexity is how we do it between people, process, and parts. But this truck, you'll see, I believe tomorrow, at the end of tomorrow, it'll be in our alignment rack. It'll get ready for test miles. We'll tape it up. It'll go through a process of test miles, water testing, and all documented, and it'll go through our inspection tunnel. So it is not far from completion. If you're watching, Kathy, beautiful spec. I love the Phoenician yellow. I love the white interior too. And I think you're absolutely gonna love this. So, so nice. Okay, right behind it is Stevens Midnight Blue. Beautiful, beautiful truck. Now this is a client that flew into Atlanta. He's old school. He wants to do a test drive. And if that's you, if you want to touch, drive, smell, feel, meet the team, come to the factory, experience all of it, and be able to put your hands on it, then text or call our team. It's by appointment only, and you can come in for the day. We'll pick you up. We have a full-time driver and take care of you, bring you to your hotel, or you want to come for a day trip, we'll pick you up from the airport, bring you to the factory, you can do your thing. We'll have some champagne, and then we'll bring you back, and you're gonna absolutely want one. So don't come here unless you want one, because the conversion rate is extremely high. So Steven can attest for that. He came and test drove a demo because he really wanted to see what it felt like and check out the fit and finish. And I can tell you, I am confident that if you have a Range Rover, a G-Wagon, you have a Urus or a Cullinan or anything equivalent plus or minus that range, you will be blown away by the fit and finish and the details and the craftsmanship inside and out. And we try to be as transparent as possible about the good and bad and the ugly, so that you know. And every single day we come in and we are fighting hard. Our people are fighting hard to improve on people, process, parts. Anything that makes it more efficient, higher quality, and on-time delivery, we're all over. And there's not a day that comes in where we just don't keep pushing the envelope. And all of that started with my breakdown on the side of the road, going, gosh, how do I make this better? This sucks, right? And when you get to a point in your life, which I hope all of you can pull motivation from this if you're just not there yet, you get to a point in your life where you don't have to deal with those problems, right? You made it. You figured out how to win in life and win in your work, and therefore you get paid, and you don't have to have those kinds of problems. Therefore, you don't want those kinds of problems. And I know exactly what it is you're looking for. And I built it for my wife, because I love my wife. And when my wife's unhappy, well, happy wife, happy life. So I always say she deserves a lot of credit because she was the inspiration behind this, but I also say be careful what you wish for. She just wanted me to make that thing better. She had no idea that I would spend the rest of my waking moments with this incredible team building these vehicles, and it's taken 4.5 years, which is the equivalent of 10 years worth of work, to be able to get to where we are today. And none of it's easy, but all of it's worth it. And in the daytime, you'll see our team here handcrafting these beautiful pieces of art. This is our sub-assembly area where all the intricate behind-the-scenes detailed work goes down. This is ball glove interior about to go in someone's truck. This is worn glove interior about to go in somebody's truck. And all of it with standard operating procedures, SOPs, and quality checks by quality engineers every single day. I'll even pull this up here just to show you. And there's not one detail here that's not documented, data-driven. I came from a technology background, so everything we do is about tracking, about metrics, about KPIs, and it's about innovation and improvement. And if you're a technology company, you can't just build an incrementally better product, or you're not going to sell anything because everyone's got it, right? Everyone's doing it. In technology, the rule of thumb is if you really want to win and win big, you have to bring a product to market that's an order of magnitude better than the incumbent. So what the heck does that mean? Really what all that means is that if you're going to play at the highest level and actually bring a product to market that is significantly better, 10 times better, to be able to actually, bring innovation and disrupt, it can be incrementally better. And so we thought through everything. We thought about how it drove. We thought about the reliability. We thought about the technology. We thought about emissions. We thought about registration. And then we thought about crash tests. And if you don't crash test the car, then it puts you in a different category. So we crash tested the car. And when I say crash test, I don't mean like, just ran into a brick wall in the parking lot. We took it to one of the biggest and best globally recognized compliance and crash test labs in the world. Same ones that the big OEMs use. And we went through a physical crash test to meet the FMVSS compliance. So we did frontal, side, rear, and all of this body work right here that you see here. This is brand new American-made Detroit steel. And to be able to do that, I'm going to show you behind the scenes here so you can understand what all goes into turning this 2025 modern car chassis, modern car platform into the piece of art that it is. And this right here is our 100% brand new American-made steel body, and it's classic inspired. The word inspired is very important because you don't actually want it to be a remake of the old. Remember, 60 years have gone by since these old trucks were made. If you just go back to the way it was, you're gonna have the same problems, which is narrow track width, too short of a wheelbase. It's gonna drive funny, you're not gonna like it. And so we made it wider, longer, bigger, and preserved the body in white underneath. We didn't mess with any of the things you really want. And I'll show you on a modern car chassis too, like the crumple zones and the side impact beams and all the technology and the things that have evolved over the course of the last 50, 60 years. You don't want to miss out on all that technology because at the end of the day, yes, it's a beautiful car and you'll have fun driving it, but what if you get in an accident? And you can't control when that happens. And if you made it this far in life to be able to consider dropping this kind of money on a vehicle, you probably have a desire to preserve that life. And you probably have a family, like most of our customers, and you probably have kids or grandkids. And so it's those considerations that I went through myself and I thought about, and I said, hey, what does perfect look like? No compromises. I don't want to hear about it leaking or squeaking or rattling. I don't want it to drive bad. I don't want it to be like, hey, it's cool, but you remove the potential of but. There'll always be a but. That's why we keep going and keep making it better. But you just make sure that when the customers get the car, they're just going to shake their head and go, damn, you guys did this. And it was the work of relentless, smart, amazing designers, engineers, and people who came together to truly build a fully modernized classic that has no compromises because it's built on 2025 chassis. And these little gauges right here are an example of how detailed and how specific and how meticulous we are. Most shops, I promise you, because we used to be a shop, we used to do restoration, we used to have mechanics that did things by memory and feel, which is fine if you're gonna build a car, maybe as a hobby for your garage. But if you're gonna build commercially available vehicles for people with families that are gonna go drive it at 75, 80 miles an hour, like with their kids, I'm gonna tell you, like, these are the details that matter. Spec for every nut and bolt. Specifications for every line and gap, right? This is the level of detail, and it's how we blend art and science, because the people we have, they're very, very good at bodywork, which is a lost art today. But when you give them tools and measurements and a process that allows them to be even better, there's no memory or feel, or today it's 2 millimeters, tomorrow is 1.5, the next day is 3. It is precise every time. We record all of it, and we have a quality score for every single person in the building at every step on every vehicle every day. And so there's no wondering how you're doing. You're not getting like an annual review to see how you did. It is literally every single day we start a new build, and every single day we ship a new build. And therefore, with that kind of scale and consistency and data tracking, it allows you to get really, really good, really, really fast. We've got it dialed in to where we can predict exactly how long the truck's going to take to build. We know exactly how many days there are, working days in a calendar month, including holidays. We know how many stations there are, how many people, how long every step takes. And that allows us to be very, very accurate in our timing. And I can tell you, once upon a time, we were definitely not on time. And I hated that. If I have gray hair on my head, and I'm relatively young, 45, I think that's young, it came from the stress that I felt, because the obligation that I felt as the founder and CEO of a car company and not delivering on time, I hated that, because I understood what it was like. I would have felt the same way, and I couldn't blame the customers. All we could do was relentlessly pursue people, process, and parts, and just keep making it better and better and better until it's all repeatable. And that's what it is today. And it doesn't mean we're taking our foot off the gas pedal. Here's Kevin Hart's build, by the way. Came in for some upgrades. Look, Kevin added some HREs. He's a funny guy. Like, literally, like, I think a couple weeks after he got the truck, he dropped like another 20 grand on it, on stuff that, I don't know if he needed to do, but he did it anyway. So he did some suspension stuff. He dropped, these are HREs. Those are probably like $10,000 for that set. And exhaust and all this other stuff. So anyway, you should check out the Kevin Hart story and how he introduced us, him and Mark Wahlberg, to Tyler Perry, and how all that went down. And anyway, it's cool. So that's Kevin Hart's truck. But back over here under the lights, this right here is our macadamia metallic, aka root beer. And this truck right here belongs to Omer out in California, and it is in the final detail station here. Omer, if you're watching, what a beautiful spec. And look, no two are alike, right? Just the ones we looked at so far. There's something different about the interior, there's something different about the roll bar, there's something different about the trim, and it's just cool how many different permutations this truck can wear, and wear it well. This tailgate here, we engineered ourselves to drop down nice and slow, and engineered to hold up to 500 pounds. You can have a nice tailgate party right here. Underneath here, you've seen this, your hidden cooler with a drain plug for your tailgating, whether that be at a football game or sitting on the beach with your toes in the sand and having some champagne, not while you're driving, of course. And you've got the sound system that'll blow your mind, because music was a big part of my life, super important. And you get in the car, the first thing you do, you turn on the music, it's got to be clear, it's got to sound good. And this subwoofer right here, 10-inch JL hidden in here with a matching perforated leather cover. And I can tell you, in the Range Rover and the G-Wagon, that the speaker covers are plastic. So I don't want to get blacklisted, but it is what it is. I'm just telling you the truth. And these details, this is woven tuxedo. And all that means is each one of these little strips of leather is actually, just imagine, this one strip here runs all the way down and is woven in, out by hand. And I don't know how many there are, but there's a lot. And you can choose woven tuxedo, which is black and white, hence tuxedo, or you can now get it in matching leather. So if you like this style, you can have worn glove on the outside and then woven worn glove on the inside. Let me see if I can find one in the building. It's becoming a popular option. And then matching dash here. Here's your airbags. So you got your steering wheel airbag, super important. You've got your seat mounted side impact driver's side airbag. And again, the level of depth that we went through to make sure it was done right is that you could take your seat today in your car that has an airbag and have somebody throw some leather on it. Anyone can do that. But to actually do it right and pass FMVSS, which is Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards, you actually have to have a certificate and proper technique and thread to ensure that, God forbid, that airbag's got to blow, it's going to work. And these are the lengths we went to. We didn't just cover it. This one too, we didn't just cover that, right? This is our leather work covering this airbag here. We physically blew the airbags and went through FMVSS compliance, which no restoration or rest mod can pass. I know, we used to build them. And I can tell you the other companies, they'll say modernized, new technology, new drivetrain. They might say new body or new chassis, but they're not going to tell you that they crash tested it. And they're not going to tell you that it's FMVSS compliance. And they're probably not going to tell you that it'll pass emissions. It only passes because it's exempt, right? These are the details and all the things we know because we went through it. And we just kept asking, how do we make it better? Because we knew we had to make it better. So airbag 1, airbag 2, airbag number 3 is your curtain airbag. So that's your passenger side airbag. Side curtain airbag gives you the side and rear passenger protection. I'm actually not gonna get in Omer's car because I got my shoes on, and that's just not how we do things here. So I'm gonna carefully open this up. There's your airbag warning there, just to remind you. Airbag number 4 is right here, dual stage, and is mounted right here. Here's a great example. There's a line right here, and there's a door, for lack of better words, that kind of fans out. And when you get into an impact, that airbag, if it's supposed to go, is going to blow out here. So when we do this kind of work, we don't just keep our fingers crossed and go, well, let's hope it works. We actually blew these with the same compliance company, crash test company that the big manufacturers use, just to make sure. Here's your other airbag, passenger side, seat mounted, side impact airbag right here. And then airbag number 6 on this side is going to be your side curtain airbag. And if you're a guy and you have a wife and you need a permission slip to drop this kind of money on a car, this is going to get the buy-in of your wife, which is, it is the only truly fully modernized classic car built at this scale and this level of quality, FMVSS compliant, physically crash tested, has 6 airbags, latch system, and all of the modern safety features of a 2025 vehicle. But when you look at it, it looks like nothing else on the road. And this is coming from somebody who obsessed with cars, has bought every type of car you can think of, and always wanted something unique and different. And I can tell you, this is unique and different. Look at the paint on this. Metallic, and the lines and the gaps, as I showed you with the gap gauges, every detail accounted for. And it is a piece of art. And I say employ, I don't even like to use that word. On the team, our players are artists. That's what we look for. We look for people who, if this isn't perfect, it won't even make it to inspection because they're going to go, nope, we got a problem, not going to pass, right? And it's those types of people behind the scenes that when you have a handcrafted vehicle, you want to know, A, who's building that car. Handcrafted means people, human beings, somewhere are assembling the vehicle and your investment that your whole life is going to ride on. That's how you should actually think about it. Because think about it, you're going to get in, you're going to drive it. Once you plan on driving just 20 miles an hour in the neighborhood and never leave and never go fast and never go anywhere with anybody, you've got something to think about, which is what will you put yourself and your family and your friends in? Handcrafted means it's done by people. You want to know two things. Number one, who's building it? And number two, how are they building it? And those two things, if they cannot share with you this level of detail, that there's actual data and documentation and FMVSS compliance and crash tests and SOPs, standard operating procedures, and quality engineers that actually do the audits, if they can't walk you through that, then I can tell you it's a different level of build. And again, at this price point, A, is expensive. I know. I didn't come from money. There's a lot of money. A lot of money for a car, a lot of money for anything, right? You hear the complaint, oh gosh, I could buy a starter home in the Midwest for it. Yes, yeah. But there's a lot of cars, by the way, that cost $250,000, $300,000. And so it's not like this is the only one. So is it worth the price tag? And how do we justify that? Well, we went to great lengths to ensure that not only fit and finish and quality and craftsmanship is going to exceed your expectations, it's the innovation that we went through, and the stamping of the body panels are proprietary to us, that we own the molds. We went through a lot of work to be able to do that. No company that I know of has gone to Detroit that is our size, that isn't a big OEM, and would actually stamp steel body panels. When we did it, people were like, you're crazy, right? They didn't even actually think we'd be able to do it. They thought that this was just like another prototype project that would never get off the ground. But no, we knew, because our customers told us what they wanted. And I was a customer, my wife's a customer, so I already knew. And it was that confidence, that insight, that knowledge that gave us the ability to make a huge bet on the future. And while other companies try their best to make classic cars more modern, and I commend them for it, we did it too, and we ran to limitations, we're doing the opposite, which is building this beautiful truck on a 2025 platform, and you can drive it every single day and you're never going to have to think twice about it. And then the service, it really is next level, because we consider this investment to be a big one and a huge obligation for our company. And so if we build you a truck, we're going to stand behind it. But luckily, because of our people, our process, our parts, and all of the modern 2025 parts that we use, we have a lot of confidence in this truck. So when this thing ships, we can't handle something that pops up remotely. We're flying our certified traveling technicians to your home. They're going to take care of it super fast in your driveway for zero cost. That's how service goes with us. Okay, so here she is. Balloon white, for sale, not listed anywhere. One of one edition, navy distressed leather interior, every single option, custom Lamborghini paint job, Schumacher, Montana wool plaid, has a teak wood, has the upgraded stereo, has the 35-inch tires, the Fox coilover suspension, power steps, and Roush performance package as well. Chrome trim, This is a beautiful, beautiful truck. Somebody will be very, very happy with this, and it's for sale. So text or call us. And I'll zip over here and just show you a couple others here before we wrap up. This is Bad Santa. Client came in. Congratulations to our client. He traded in his Cardinal Red G-Wagon for this. And we'll have this beautiful one-of-one edition really soon. Look at the paint on that. So, so nice. This right here is, I believe this is Patrick's Midnight Blue. This right here, I believe, is a surprise waiting to be unveiled. This right here is AJ McLean's truck from the Backstreet Boys. This thing is an absolute beast. Leadfoot gray, just posted on our page. So if you want to see some more details on this truck, go to our Instagram and you'll see a little sneak peek. Look at this thing here, 35s, beast mode, Fox coilover suspension, 3.5-inch lift. Really, really nice. And AJ, happy early birthday. You're gonna really, really love this. So this is gonna be shipping out any day now. Look how nice that is. And then here's the modern car chassis underneath. We talked about crumple zones built in the body, side impact beams right here in the doors, traction control and anti-lock brakes. All of your reliability and technology and safety, you don't have to give up anything. I'm gonna zip over here very carefully and give you a little sneak peek. There's something under this thing I can't show you, but that's one of our models in progress. And here is the other one. Pay attention to our Instagram. Pay attention to our stories. We're going to show you this truck here over the next few days. It is invite only 50 units produced, and it's going to be very, very cool. All right. And to our clients, Sandy and Penn, who flew in today from Las Vegas, they test drove their light jade truck, fell in love, and this is the one that had the deposit on it. It's pending sale, and it is officially gone. Look at that snow white leather interior. So, so nice. All right, and this right here is Jason's truck, but he's busy playing football right now in the NFL, and I hope for his sake he isn't able to even take delivery because they're going to make it far in the playoffs. So good luck to you guys, Jason. All right, if you are looking for something and you want to text or call us, our team can walk you through the inventory. There's not a lot left. There's hardly anything posted. All of them sold very quickly as we expected, right before Christmas and right after. But we have this balloon white in stock. We have the Arcadian blue in stock, and our team is standing by. No time's too late. We're always on, and you can text or call us anytime. Okay, guys, I think this is the last live we're going to do from Atlanta. I'll be in Miami tomorrow and the next day, and I'll catch you over there with the Arcadian blue truck down where it's sunny. All right, until then, thank you so much. Appreciate all you guys. Shout out to our team. Can't thank you enough. Amazing people, and couldn't do without you. And thanks for all of our clients too, who made a bet on us, and we're gonna make you proud. And thanks to our fans, because we really wouldn't be here without you. Okay, guys, I hope you have a great night. And if I don't catch you before the new year, Happy New Year. And I hope your 2026